Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe! Heyo and welcome in. Today you're joined by me, Daniel, and I'm here talking about a topic. I was just talking to you about this painting I'm doing now. Just, yeah, talking to you about finishing it off, putting the final touches in, and that kind of thing. Um, because I've been working on quite a few things in the last couple of weeks, really, couple of months, compared to um, probably last year, or just early this year, last year. I was finishing off my book, and that took a little while. One big project. I was working on just that big project, as well as running this YouTube channel and um, a few other things on the side. So now I'm going in and delving and doing some little projects here and there, at the moment. I decided to do another pug piece. You would have heard that 2 weeks ago when I first did these videos. I was talking about it a few weeks back as well, or a few months back. I was talking about getting on to doing new paintings and doing new things, and there's a few videos on my channel about that, and there's a few times I've mentioned it in some of my videos. Yeah, but today I'm doing the third kind of video to this pug Rapunzel piece artwork that I'm creating at the moment, and I've just finished it. Just finished it, and it's good to have that to um actually finish a piece, uh, go through that whole process of, creating it, um, fixing it up, then just continuing on it and fixing out mistakes and um, trying to get it the best you can, I'm not aiming for perfection here. I'm just trying to get this piece to its highest level of achievement that I can, the best that I can do, um, at the time, there are pieces out there, even some of the pug pieces that I've done in the past, um, that still need improving. And it's due to the skill I had then, the time I had then, all those things. But I can always go back, and either completely repaint them or, paint over top of them, um, with a fresh eye. Now I'm looking at doing that in the future as well, is a few pieces that are kind of in my, art station kind of portfolio. I'm looking at overpainting a few of them, editing them, and then things like that. Um, yeah, because I have, in the last couple of years, I definitely have, improved a lot. Um, in terms of skills and in terms of quality of my work. Things are, heading up slowly. Um, you know, there were times where it was a bit of a standstill, wasn't improving too much, um, and that kind of thing. But I feel like I've done quite a bit lately, and I'm slowly, heading towards getting way, better than I am now. And that's always what I do, I always improve. You get to a point, oh, I don't think I can get any better than a certain point. And it shows you can get, you know, you can go completely way higher. Um, if you keep on pushing it, you can achieve way more. I've seen it in other artists, seen what they do. Like, for instance, one artist of mine I've been watching quite a long time is Tiao Shin. Go look at his work, his YouTube, Twitch, a lot of stuff. I don't know how frequently he does those stuff anymore. I know he does some social medias. I know he's on Instagram, but you know, um, he's done a lot of like fan art and stuff like that. Um, but I've seen one of his pieces lately. I'm like, really? I don't think a piece like that. I don't know if he would have had the skill. I guess he probably could pull it off, but you can see that he's improved. Um, and he's back in the day, he's way better than me 4 or 5 years ago. He's a great artist. Um, but yeah, you can see that improvement. It's not by much. It's not like, um, but it is improvement. You can see it, and that's what's important. You keep moving forward. You keep producing better pieces. And you can see that in the artists that are out there. Um, you know, give them 3 or 4 years. You know, the quality of work may go up. Maybe the quality might stay the same because they are pretty good, but the ideas or the way they produce things or the way they is higher. For instance, like with YouTube, if you look at YouTube as an art form per se, maybe it might be the opposite where the quality of video is going up, um, but the presentation isn't going up, and then it can be the opposite way where you still have the same kind of quality of videos, but the presentation is way better. For instance, like my videos, back in the day, my quality was really bad with, you know, the cheapest headset I could buy, pretty much, and also, um, I'm not sure about the videos. The videos were kind of fuzzy and um, I was figuring things out and wasn't presenting the best. I would be quite silent for a little bit and not have like full sentences or whatever. Didn't have a full kind of schedule and things to talk about. The way I presented it, anything that had, was kind of um, yeah, different. I guess it was not it's always improving. Same with, my artwork's improving slowly. Um, and, it's great to see that in other artists out there that are growing, and it's awesome to see your own progress as well. Um, so always look back at your work. For me here, finalizing this piece was definitely struggling because I want to really get the most out of it. I can get the best piece. This piece, I really want it to be um, higher in quality than most of my pieces I've done before, um, especially for the pugs. So I was aiming for that to really push that quality up a little bit more. So that's why it was a little bit more struggling because I didn't know when to. Trying to, um, I was like trying to push myself because I was like, oh, I'm finished, it looks pretty good, it's done, but there's more here to do, in the end, and it took a few things to do that. One, step away and just take a break or do something else, put it aside, flip the canvas. I did that a few times where I flipped the canvas, where I was like, when I was like, oh, I'm done, finished, it looks pretty good. Um, I'd say that, it looked pretty good, finished. I would then go ahead and flip the canvas and be like, oh no, there's plenty to do here, Also, my partner as well, she was looking at me producing this piece, as well, and she would be like, oh, it's not finished. Um, just take it in, just take it if someone comes up and be like, you know, this doesn't look good. You've been working, sweating your tears over it and all that stuff, putting a lot of effort in. You're over, you might be over producing it. You might be, kind of, um, just like, yeah, putting all your sweat and tears, and someone says, oh, that looks bad. It can be upsetting, but I don't let it upset me at all. Back in the day, probably 4 or 5 years ago, yeah, those kind of things could upset me a little bit, but I would basically at first I would be like, like annoyed about it or something like that for a little bit, then take a break, and then I would go back into it and fix those little things that someone mentioned. You know, nowadays I usually ask questions, keep continuing, the conversation, they hear or was a little bit off or something like that, whatever they suggest, and then be like, why do you think that looks odd? Not not trying to be like defensive about it. Be like, you know, no, it's just that way because I painted it that way. If you then continue the conversation and be like, okay, so um, you think the hair is a little bit more needs a little bit more work, um, like how possibly, and then they can give you a little bit more answer, and then it also makes you feel um, less kind of fully defensive about it and actually trying to um, improve it, and that's where you want to be. You want to be a place where you can keep pushing forward and try to get the most out of your picture, um, to make sure that the aim of the picture, um, the purpose of the image is, being there. The purpose of this image is, to make people go, oh, or that's cute, or laugh. Either of those things. It's a little bit, of a kind of subtle funniness. It's not go up to a ha ha ha, ha, but cute kind of funny. Like, ha, that's pretty funny in a way. Yeah, it's not like a comedy. It's more like a romantic comedy. One of those like little romantic comedy things. It's not a um full blown comedy. Although in comedy arts, because I've done a few kind of comedy art pieces per se. For me, it's like, well, once you've painted it and pulled the sweat and everything, by the end of it all, um, you're over that joke. People that seen it the first time will find it funny. The first seeing a piece like that, it was quite funny to see. Um, but because I've kind of worked at it quite hard and um, kept it going, put my sweat and tears and everything into it, um, and know the joke in and out, it's not as funny, but I still find it a little bit funny here. I think, I've kind of achieved what I wanted the piece to achieve. Um, there is obviously imperfections, and yeah, there's not too much I can do about those imperfections um, at the moment, because I have kind of run out of time for this piece. If I could maybe fix it up in a couple of weeks if I think it's necessary. If I go to get it printed or something and then print it and something's off, I could do a little bit of tweaks possibly um, when I find some time. But I want to keep going. I think I've gotten what I needed out of the piece. Yeah, the highest I can. And it's, if I keep going, keep pushing it, um, I don't think it will get any better at the state that it is now. Because you haven't seen the state that it is now, basically, not yet anyway. I haven't released it to the public yet, per se. But it will, yeah, definitely as soon kind of as this video is up, it will this image will be, an Instagram art station. Possibly those sites, upload it to that. Well, from this video, this video is, being recorded on Saturday night here and export it tomorrow for the morning. So it'd be 12-ish hours, somewhere around there. After that, I usually um, some point release it. um, and yeah, it would be fun. I do enjoy sharing my artwork with others, seeing their reactions. I think it's at that state where I can share it with other people, and if I do, receive people, um, offering their hand and trying to improve your art, improve my art, improve this. I take it as well. You're gonna get there. You go post it. There might be someone out there that will, um, you know, try and improve it, help to improve it, and that's what some others try to do. Is offer their advice to try and improve the art that they see. They want to, maybe they like the piece. Sometimes they will offer that little bit of advice of things you can fix because they want to see what it would look like, with those fixes, to make it better for them, in a way. Um, but yeah, you can receive those, and it's always helpful. Um, and you can get the nasty ones and all that out there. Um, but you take um, whatever in, and you don't worry about it. Um, yeah, because you're doing the best you can, and you're always improving. That's what's important, and um, you keep on journey. For me, it's very challenging to keep moving forward and then keep painting every day and keep this journey up. It has been, challenging, but I love it. I love illustrating. I love creating. I wouldn't stop it even, you know, even kind of if my tablet broke um, or something really bad happened, I don't think I could stop illustrating. There has been times where, I illustrate less or draw less. Um, Maybe like when I get sick and things like that, I'm pretty much just stuck in bed most of the day, and I don't get one drawing in for the day usually. Um, and there's times where I don't feel like drawing. But ultimately, hopefully I said that right. I do keep creating. Um, there's a passion there. I've got to keep creating. It's what keeps me going. Um, I enjoy when I do get to create this kind of thing. I like creating the idea and then keeping on pushing forward. There are less fun times, like some of the little continuous work, like doing the fur and the hair and that kind of thing. They can get a little bit tedious per se, a little bit, but I do enjoy just zoning out, listening to my music and doing that kind of thing as well. But there are times where that gets a little tedious and you just don't feel like doing that, you know, um, or that kind of thing, or you don't feel like doing sketches or um, drawing new ideas. You feel like just tedious work, something like that. Um, but ultimately, I keep creating, and I've had fun creating this piece and finishing off. As you see, I flipped the canvas again. I was like, it's finished, and then I flipped it, and I'm like, no, no, I've got these edits to do. And I keep saying, I'm finished, but I keep pushing. I get pulled back a little bit, you know, I say it's finished, and then I come back the next day, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, no, it's not finished. You know, I can do a little bit better here. Um, um, and trying to push that message out, trying to get it better, trying to get that hairline as well. There are a few edits here afterwards that you don't see recorded. So it'll go from, you know, the finish to here to the actual final piece. I had a bit of play around with this image as well. I played around with saturation and coloring and sprucing up a little bit using like filters and things. Not something I always do. So I think that helped it a bit. I just thought, well, you know, might as well, I like, you know, what I've got here painted. Let's try some simple filters to try and um, add to it. And I think that's helped the image the best that I think it can. Um, and I was thinking, well, why not have like an unfiltered version and then a filtered version, see what one's better. Um, but yeah, you know, there are limitless kind of results you can get um, in creating, you know, anything. There are limitless results. There's no right and wrong answer, unfortunately. Um, well, there's a totally wrong answer, you know, getting perspective wrong or getting coloring wrong. There's technical things like that. Um, but there are, you know, limitless results. So, you know, you can take forever and get limitless results really. I could have a tone over it um that makes it look like a cartoon per se, you know, more um like a comic book cartoon kind of a thing, maybe anime style of it, you know. There's limitless results. But you decide and you pick what's important for the message, and that's, you know, for here, you know, the message is basically a Disney Rapunzel like theme. So, you know, I'm not aiming to do a sci-fi comic book like theme of this. So, excuse me, that's better. So, you know, there's limitless results, really. But with those, you know, intentions of what it is, you know, Disney related, Rapunzel theme, Disney princesses, that narrows, you know, all those windows down and, you know, gets rid of all those things, those limitless results to get you less limitless results, less, you know, unwanted things, and narrow down your path a little bit more. Um, with each, you know, each question that you've answered, you know, what's the purpose of the image? Um, you know, how realistic per se you want the image, how kind of, you know, positioning and all the other aspects of the image. You know, as many questions as you can answer about it, um, that will, you know, lessen down those limitless results and give you something you were aiming for and hoping for. So, you know, this is the end of the image. This is what I ended up with. I think it's pretty good. It answers all the questions I want. Um, Obviously, it's not perfection, um, but you know, I can't. We can't all get perfection in each piece, and mistakes I might have missed, and things that I might see that I could have done a little bit better. not knowing how to fix those mistakes sometimes, um, and these little things that um, aren't exactly necessary. I guess, little mistakes that, aren't too bad, just like a little mark on the left hand side that might irritate some people, but it's like, well, you don't really notice it at all. It's like really tiny, it's like 1 pixel, you know. Um, it could irritate some people, trying to fix that can be good, but sometimes it's not necessary to fix every little pixel in an image. It's trying to make sure that that image shows what you want it to show. It reads, um, it tells the story, and that's what I think I've achieved the best I can with this image. Tell that story of this Rapunzel dog, make it look as readable as possible. So, thanks for joining me. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. It's shorter than my other videos because I don't want to talk forever in the streams when it's just me. Um, and, ramble on for hours. I could ramble on for hours, so I just want to shorten it down so you guys can enjoy it, I can enjoy it, and I can get some more stuff done as well. I don't have to drag these videos out to, you know, to full time, and I can do other stuff. I don't have to feel so worn out from it as well. So keep drawing, everyone, keep creating, and see you in the next video.